Well, hello there, my friends. It is so good to be back for another creative checkup with really our whole community. This is for those of you who are creators, musicians, artists, entrepreneurs, anyone with a connection between the arts, ministry, content creation, and entertainment. My name is Alan C. Paul. I'm the founder of God and Gigs. I'm an author, podcaster, and creative coach. And this is where we help you to solve those little pesky issues, something that might be affecting your creative life directly right now. And so we talk through it in this creative checkup. We do this every Monday Monday. I'm thinking about my podcast. Every Friday at 1 p.m. We do this Eastern. So if you're joining us right now, either live or on replay, thank you for making this a part of your day. I would love to see your comments here on StreamYard, which is where we share. And by the way, forgive me, my voice immediately starts to cut out because I did drink my water. We are able to pop your comments up. So if you want to join us and join in the conversation, whoops, well, I just lost everybody. There we go. I want to make sure you can see the comments. So you can always comment and we're able to share your comments here on the screen. Also, the comments help me know that you're engaged, that you're paying attention, that you're not just, well, some people just like to watch, but I would love for this to be a conversation and not a monologue. And so you commenting helps the algorithms see that there's people paying attention, that they're watching, and we get to have a conversation. And more importantly than any of that, honestly, it's the fact that I want this to be really actionable and working for you. And the Creators Checkup really is that. So, and by the way, it also helps me to make sure that the audio is working. We've had some issues with the internet here in South Florida. My whole neighborhood, we all lost AT&T fiber because some truck ran over the cable or something. I thought they were underground, but who knows? So we lost internet. And so we've been having some spotty issues. And I want to make sure that everything is working. Even now, I'm checking the Wi-Fi, and it's not like 1,000%, which bothers me because it makes me worry. But I'll try not to worry. Let me know though if you're hearing everything. Those comments, those likes, they also help the algorithm. They help people know that we're here, that we're actually sharing. We're not just out here, talking to nobody. This is actually being represented and paid attention to by our community. So that really makes it really important that we have this interaction. So I hope you'll do that. Like, subscribe to the channel here if you are on YouTube. We're also live on LinkedIn. I know LinkedIn, you guys don't get like the same kind of notifications and interaction. I can't pull up your comments on LinkedIn, but I can see your comments later. So we do see on LinkedIn that later on, there are comments there and there are people who are watching and I can see who watched. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, still please leave some comments, even though we may not get the same kind of interaction back and forth as we do on Facebook and on YouTube. Okay. So I would love to see that. And well, let's jump right into today's creative checkup. I always try to start with just giving you guys like the lay of the land, what we're actually going to be talking about today. There's always a plan. I believe like back in the day, I might have just done one topic for the entire 30, 45 minutes to an hour. And that worked okay. But I think this is better. And I've seen so much better metrics in terms of people who are responding because we have a plan set out to really cover a lot of ground in the hour that we'll be together. So you can see we're going to do our news and notes first. We have some new members of God Engage 360 that we would like to welcome. Then we're going to talk about some exciting new features of our membership. This is super cool stuff that our partner Mighty Networks, that's where we host our own app. We do have our own app for God and Gigs. And then we're going to then recap the Spark Your Partnership workshop, which we did with Misty Phillip. She is amazing. She was so powerful in what she shared with our community. We had some live viewers, had some people that were able to check it out on replay because they subscribed and registered. And we had our God and Gigs Gold members who were able to check this out anytime. So that workshop is still available, by the way. I'll let you know how you can watch it still. And we have some upcoming events that we'd like to tell you about in our local South Florida area that are super exciting. So, I mean, if you want to take a trip down here, if you're not from South Florida, but I wanted to make sure you guys all knew about that. We also have our vital signs, and usually our vital signs is something that addresses a heart issue, a head issue, a career issue, something that really impacts creatives directly. Okay, that's where we kind of get to the meat of the matter, vital signs. And today we're going to be talking about collaboration and competition. Which one of these should you be leaning into? And let's be honest, there's probably a place for both, but we're going to talk about, let me grab my water real quick, make sure I'm not losing my voice right away. But what we're going to do is we're going to talk about which one of these things is more powerful, which one of these things will move your career forward as a creative artist, entrepreneur, creative that just wants to, build something that lasts, but do it in a way that's sustainable. Next, we're going to do our lab work. And this is going to be really interesting. I've never tried this before. We're going to talk about how we literally do this live stream right now. Because as I was talking about some of these tools, I realized that perhaps you might want to do something like this, but I've never really talked about how we actually do it. And so if you've ever wanted to build a live stream yourself, if you have like a project, or really honestly, I need to change my thought process about this, because I say project. It really doesn't matter what your creative talent is. You could be talking about it and sharing it in so many different ways through live streaming. Now, I did a whole course on how we do live streams back in the pandemic. It's still available. I haven't really promoted it, but it's how to make money. I made almost $8,000 through the pandemic through live streaming and selling tickets to my actual live streams and my performances, my music performances. So it's possible to do that still. But even beyond the monetization and selling tickets to live streams, I wanted to show you like how we do this, because I've been following our friend LaShonda Brown for years. I pretty much borrowed or stole all of her concepts, but then I started making things my own. So this is how I like to do live streams. And if you want to know how to do that, we're going to talk about that in lab work. So I'm going to give you a behind the scenes. I'm going to show you kind of like how we make this happen. And if you want to do this, you can simply take what we've done, which we took from other amazing live streamers like LaShonda, and adapt it to your own practice of creative work. And again, doesn't matter if you're an artist, musician, painter, writer, you can use these things and create your community and have a place where they can connect with your art and with your stuff. And it's really powerful because it's honestly, it's nearly free. It's not entirely free, but it doesn't cost as much as you might think. And it creates this touch point for you. So I'm going to give you guys that like behind the scenes. Then we're going to get into our consult. That's where I share a little bit about something that we're going to talk about, where we're getting in, get back and forth. And that's today about God's timing, something that impacts pretty much everybody. And so anytime you have an issue with, when do I make this decision? Does God want me to make this decision? Should I move now? Should I stay or should I go? Like those kind of things. We're going to get into that. And I would love to have your dialogue when we get to that part of the discussion in the consult, because it's all about really our conversation. And finally, the prescriptions, we're going to talk about, the thing that I would love for you to do. And if you honestly see any of this material that you love, any of these recordings you wish you had access to, that's why you want to be in the Creative Resource Center. That's where we house all of our live streams and our workshops, so that you can get access to it, even if you didn't register for like Misty's workshop or Marlita's workshop back in February on your creative calling. All of that is housed in our app and you can get access to it. So I'll show you how to do that in our creative live stream. I'm sorry, in our Creative Resource Center. Okay. But first, I want to welcome again, if those people are not here, I'm going to keep reminding you guys that we're celebrating them, because I am so excited to have these people as part of our membership. That is our new member, Aisha Brown. She is part of the Creative Resources Center. And Anita, who's part of the Resource Center. Anita, if you did not see my message, please check out the chat in the Creative Resource Center. Actually, I should just say in Guided Gigs 360. I'm trying to make sure people can navigate the app as they're learning about it. So these new members, they get an orientation, but then the orientation continues to work out as we roll out these new features of the app. So I really want to make sure everybody knows where to find things inside 360. So if you're watching this and you didn't know we had a chat, if you are saying, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that you could do certain of these features, you have to stay kind of engaged with us, because there's always new things in terms of your email subscription or your preferences, you might want to go back and make sure that you're actually getting the emails, because sometimes the emails get lost in spam if you haven't opened it for a while. Unfortunately, that's just the way, these things work. You may just not be seeing it. So make sure that you have your email notifications on so you can see what happens when we send out these new notifications for our workshops, for the things that people are posting. I mean, there's so much good things, so many good things happening inside the membership that I would love for you to take a part of. But I want to make sure that we welcomed Anita and Aisha, because they have been amazing already in the community, just sharing what they know, what they want to learn, and connecting with their community. So here is one of the things that I would love for you and our rest of our members to take part of. And this is just the coolest thing. Mighty Networks keeps coming out with these awesome things. Okay. So recognitions and streaks. So let me see if I can explain this in a way that really makes it clear, because you might say, okay, well, what's the streak or what's a recognition? Like, how does this work? Basically, think of it like this. We want our members in our app. Again, this is God and Gigs 360. We want those people to celebrate each other and to be celebrated. So one of the ways we do that is by this new way in Mighty Networks of recognizing the people who are showing up day after day. So you can see this is my profile inside God and Gigs 360. And I've been there 9 straight days, right? So I've got a streak going there. But then look underneath it, you see recognitions. This is where every time I show up, I get 10 points just by getting into the app and maybe interacting, right? Each time I do that, I get points, and now I can use those points to send to somebody else. Basically, I'm kind of buying an award, and I get to present it to another member. So this is what's so cool about this. You earn the points, but the points really aren't for you to just like get some kind of award. It's for you to award somebody else or thank them for something they did for you. As you can see, it's kind of grayed out there, but you can, give someone a recognition for being welcoming, or for being inspiring, or for being creative, or for being supportive. So this is what's so cool. So when you get these points, you can now celebrate other members of our God and Gigs community. I thought this was so inventive. I'm so glad that we rolled this out inside the app. So this is for all you guys that are in the God and Gigs 360 app already. I love for you to, number one, start showing up weekly. We're going to be having our questions. There's always somebody posting something new, and it'll be me, it'll be Simone, it'll be Charmaine, it'll be somebody else that has an idea, or just check in to ask your own question. Like, hey, I'm dealing with this. Now, normally the way we do this is on Tuesdays, we have what we call Tuesday tools. So maybe there's a tool that you're using, something that you'd like to figure out. On Wednesdays and Thursdays, we can do a give and ask. So you can ask for something, or give some topic, or give some kind of like a tip that you might be using. So that's what we use for give and ask. And then we also love our Faithful Fridays. That's where you can give somebody a Bible verse, something that's inspiring you. So as you can see, these little hashtags are things we can use throughout the week, and we're changing them every once in a while. It really doesn't matter. You don't have to follow a specific one. Most importantly, though, I want you to be able to connect with each other as you interact in the app. And these recognitions and streaks are a fun way for you to see just how that works and how you can make somebody else's day just by giving them a little recognition for blessing you, or sending something, or saying something, comment, any kind of thing that they helped you with, or just seeing how they're amazing, right? Just sending them a award for being amazing. So this is the new recognitions. Show up in the app, and you'll see how your streaks start to build up, and then how you can send these recognitions to somebody to recognize them, which I thought was super cool. All right. I want to remind you all that we do have not yet two, one devotional available on YouVersion, right? That is our Creator's Craft, which I am super excited about, has still been there. It's been viewed about 400 times. And I think there's been about 300 completions. So that's 400 people on the app, the Bible app. This is on the U version. You can always find this. I believe for once I have a banner ready for this. Um, no, I don't. Every single time I think I have a banner for something. Why is that? I never have the banner ready. You guys have to help me with this because this is like every single week I want to say something and I don't have the banner ready. And I feel like I'm just failing. I don't know why it is. Ah, gosh. I see Anita is in here. I'm going to go ahead and post this. Hopefully this URL works. That will get you there. Thank you so much, Anita. Gotta stay on there so you guys can hear me. Thank you so much. Oh, it didn't go to Facebook. Okay, we'll try that again later. But you can see it there, godandgigs.com/creatorscraft. Thank you so much, Anita. It's so good to have you here. I appreciate that. Like, this has been a labor of love, and I really want to get more of these devotionals out. So that's why I want to start talking about it every week. Just reminding people, and I'm really excited about the Creator's Purpose. Still pray for us that it gets approved. It's still in the approval process. If it's approved, it will come out right before Easter. So, and I'm working on other ones as well. So I really hope that this will become a normal part of the U version because there needs to be more things on there for creatives. That's what I feel. I feel there need to be more things for creatives and people who are Christians who want to think more creatively. I think that's the goal, and that's what we're really working towards. So you can check that out at godofgeeks.com/creatorscraft. Okay, our recap of our Spark of Partnership. This was just a beautiful, beautiful session with Misty Phillip. Now, those of you who may still be learning who Misty is, she is one of the most influential Christian influencers, podcasters, just media members. I guess you could say she's just in the media landscape. She understands it. She has shared with me and helped me to reach people I never thought I'd be able to reach, talk to people I never thought I'd be able to talk to. And she released a new book called Spark of Influence, which was #1 in Christian influence and leadership, as well as I think in just its inspiration or something like that in general on Amazon, which is incredible. Again, which it shows the power of her community, the Spark community that she founded. And now she is a COO of Trilogy Works, which is her husband's tech company. So she actually stepped away from podcasting to help her husband with his business. So again, shows her heart for family and for following God wherever she leads, wherever he leads her. So I want to give you guys a way to get into this. If you have not seen it, 20 people registered for this, okay? 20 people between the people who signed up, some of people who were part of the Creative Resource Center. Anita, that was you. I don't know if you joined before or after you joined the Creative Resource Center, but after you join the Creative Resource Center, you get this automatically. So I want to make sure you get the value for that $10. If you spent the $10 and didn't have to, I want to make sure that you get that in some way, shape, or form back by making sure you get something else that is of value because you didn't necessarily need to spend the $10. Because once you do the $10, you get everything involved in the. And I have not uploaded this yet to the Creative Resource Center. I got to get my brain is not working today. I got to drink some more coffee. I got to get the replay up into the God and Gigs Resource Center. So the replay will be there very soon. I sent the email though to everyone so that they were able to get access to this. But the gems that Misty dropped were incredible. Just how partnership works. And it's going to kind of lead into what we're going to talk about in our vital signs. Okay. But 20 registered. We got to give away a Spark Your Influence hardcover. We're sending that out really soon, along with a lot of other books. I'm sending away so many giveaways. I'm really loving the generous part. Giving away stuff is just the best. Again, shout out to LaShonda, who is the giveaway queen. But I'm really going to start leaning into giving away more books. We've got some devotionals I'd like to give away. Heck, maybe I might give away one today. So I just want to make sure that you guys know that if you join the Creative Resource Center at godandgigs.com/resources, you can get access to this replay. Okay. That would be amazing to have more people with Anita and with Aisha and other people who are members. Okay. Last of the housekeeping here in my lovely area of South Florida. We have some local events coming up. Now, these are not technically on the calendar, but these are like save the dates. Okay. So the first one is going to be April 24th. Okay. Save the date for April 24th. We're going to be having a South Florida, Miami, Fort Lauderdale podcasters meetup. This is super cool. This is sponsored and supported by Podmatch, which is where I find so many amazing interviews and where I'm also on Podmatch. So if you want to check out Podmatch, it would be awesome for you to be a podcast guest by joining Podmatch. Even if you're not on podcast yet, I highly suggest it. You can go check that out. By the way, the link to that is godandgigs.com/podmatch. Okay. They are sponsoring our get together with South Florida podcasters. I would love to see you out there at the Born on Purpose Project. All that information will be coming very soon. I'll make sure that you all have access to those addresses and stuff like that. And also, we'll be having on May 3rd, we're going to be doing a voice health and podcasting workshop. Now, this is super cool. As you can hear right now, I'm already like talking on my vocal cords. So clearly I need help. So I'm going to be partnering with a board certified swallow and voice rehabilitation specialist. That's a long word of saying this lady knows her stuff. Okay. So we're going to be talking with podcasters, maybe 10 to 12 of them, doing a workshop on the business of podcasting. I'm going to be helping them, but then they are going to be getting a real medical exam of their vocal cords to see like how they can improve their voice. So I'm so looking forward to this because as you can hear, I seriously need it. I use my voice all the time. And if I lose my voice, I literally have no business when it comes to my podcast. So I'm going to be doing this May 3rd. Save the date. We'll get that registration out information to you very soon. And who knows, maybe we will do this in other locations when Dr. Melissa will be traveling around. I will let you know. She is amazing, a believer and such a spirit. I got to meet her as part of a Shayla Shanae's Creative Contractors Challenge. And this was just one of those, another collaborations. I'm going to start talking more about this that happened because we were able to connect with amazing people. All right. I think that's the end of all of our discussion stuff. So let's move on to our vital signs. Collaborate or compete. This is a super important thing. And by the way, if you're enjoying this so far, please like this video on YouTube. Please make sure that you let us know that you like it. Please subscribe if you're watching this for the first time on replay. This all makes a difference. I wish it was just about us and the community, but we also have to play the game, and the algorithms love to see likes, subscribes. It proves to them that we are developing and creating value for our community. So that would be amazing if you could help us with that. Okay. All right. So should you collaborate more or compete more? Now, let me tell you why this came up in terms of a thought process. It's because even as I'm sharing this with you, and you should know by now, God and Gigs is all about collaboration and community. But I had to be honest and say, well, there is this feeling that I do need to compete with other podcasters, creatives, and musicians for similar projects. I'll give you an example right now. In God and Gigs, in South Florida, there's not that many performance opportunities when it comes to my kind of music, which is jazz, R&B. It can feel like it's pretty hard to find. And so when one particular gig pops up, there's probably a lot of musicians that would like to do it. And let's be honest, like if I don't get a particular gig and then I see someone else who got the gig, who is performing or singing or playing, it can be a little bit of that kind of, well, what happened? What did I do wrong? So there's a limited amount of spaces, plenty of musicians. This also happens when I might see one of my friends performing, but they're performing with another musician and I didn't get the call. Again, it can hurt your heart a little bit. And you can feel like, man, I got passed over for that. Another example would be grants. We talk about grants through our Skip partnership. We enjoy using Skip, which is an amazing platform for small businesses. They give away about $1,000 or more than that, probably $3,000 or $4,000 every Tuesday and Friday, and they have amazing grant programs. However, let's be honest, only one person can win the grant at a time. So there is a competition, a natural one, for these resources. So I don't want to go all Pollyanna. There's a dated reference for some of y'all. I don't want to think all Pollyanna and think that everything is only about collaborations. There are times that we are literally competing for a specific job, position, award. That is part of the creative lifestyle. We do have to be willing to compete and to put our best foot forward and to say, you should choose me. You should click this, not that. You should see this, not that. You should come to my show, not this show, right? There are times when competition is just a natural order of things. And if you understand what I'm saying, then I would love to see your comments. If you've ever said, yeah, I've got to compete for eyeballs with Facebook, with all these other influencers. I've got to compete. It's literally one or the other. Someone has to choose A or B. So if you understand that, you understand where I'm coming from. However, the action that I always try to lean into, as you can probably guess, is the collaboration. And here's the question that I came up actually in our business forum, which I'm doing in our church. It's really cool that our church is doing some business classes. And this came up in terms of, should you collaborate with your competitors? Is it possible to collaborate with the same people who are, in a sense, trying to win over the same people? Okay. A perfect example of this is where you might have someone in your same field. Let's say you're an artist, you create watercolors. There's another artist who creates a similar kind of watercolors. And let's be honest, people will usually only buy one specific painting, and they're going to look at your painting and their painting and they're going to pick one, right? Let's say in a perfectly, there's very rarely one of these worlds where it's only one or the other. But let's just say you're an art show, you're both at the art show. Someone's going to pick one painting or the other. Okay. So the question is that a competition or is that an opportunity for collaboration? Well, if you look strictly at they're going to choose one or the other, then yes, it's a competition. You got to put yours in front. You got to hope that it looks better to them. You got to engage the customer. You got to be willing to kind of like say, hey, this is why this is good. And hopefully none of you are bad mouthing the other people, but you're just saying like, this is, the best, right? However, imagine this scenario. You're both watercolor painters. You're both vying for particular people. But to that same customer, you might say, to compare, my friend over here, I love her paintings. She paints kind of like this kind of thing. If you like that, please check her out. She's amazing. She will do this particular type of artwork. Mine is more like this. We love each other, but I like this style a little more. So mine goes more in this direction. But I think either one of these will be amazing for your particular room or your desires. Just pick whichever one you like. This is what I'm offering to you, but I like hers just as much. Here, the voice of that is almost kind of giving the other person opportunity to make the sale. And it's a collaboration because now I'm saying, hey, we are in this together. You might choose mine, you might choose hers, but we're basically collaborating on our connection in terms of what we sell, how we share it, and the customer gets the choice of both. What has happened in this particular arrangement, though, is that you've made an impression on the consumer that you care more about them than you and your product. You care more that they get the right thing, they get the right art, they see the community working together, and they have like this great feeling about your music or your art or whatever you're sharing. And guess what? A lot of times they will choose the person. It's kind of like progressive. You guys say this in progressive. You know how progressive always said, oh, we give you the rates of everybody else, right? And so they're basically, in a sense, kind of collaborating and sharing all of the information with these other insurance companies. And we all know Progressive wants you to choose them. They run a million commercials because they want you to choose them. But they use this idea of collaboration, or at least openness and fairness, to share other competitors' rates. So there is a place where competition can coexist with collaboration. And the idea, of course, is there is sometimes going to be a single choice made, but in the middle of that choice, you can create a spirit of collaboration. I appreciate that, Anita. It is tough sometimes. It is tough to consider, how can I turn a a competition into a collaboration? I've had this same struggle with podcasting. I've seen other channels that have blown up and seem like they cover, and let's just be honest, I'll be honest, this is going to hurt when I say it. I feel like they cover lesser, more clickbaity kind of stuff. And I feel like, well, I don't want to do what they do. I don't want to even compete with them because I don't even do that kind of thing. But clearly, part of this audience, part of this community does gravitate to that sort of thing. So it's up to me to figure out, how can I collaborate with this individual and show them, hey, I'm not as big as you, but I would love to help your channel. I would love to direct people that are only interested in your specific type of niche. I would like to direct people to you. How can we collaborate? How can we work? I've got to get past my own feelings of inadequacy, of imposter syndrome, and look for a way to collaborate with people who might be even doing better than I am or doing things slightly different, but I can learn from them. So while they are my competition in terms of, well, most of the times, if we have a similar topic, they're probably going to click one or the other. But more often than not, and here's what I think we really need to look at, they're going to click on one, and then they're going to also click on the other to check it out to see, hey, what's the difference? So the collaboration can then create this kind of, again, where all the points come together to a win-win type of situation. That's what we're really looking for. We're looking for a collaboration, even in the spaces where we feel like there's a competition, where we feel like there's the same kind of thing going on that they're building. We want to help build that as well. Perfect example of collaboration right now is, if you like this video, you can send it to somebody else right now. You can share it, right? And they're going to see it. Now, as soon as they see it, what's probably going to happen? They're going to start seeing other channels that are just like mine. But that's fine. I want them to see a smorgasbord, if you will, of other content that we belong to, the same cycle, the same kind of like content tree that we belong to, because that not just helps me, it helps these other channels. And every time we share each other's work, we're basically saying, hey, I'm a part of this too. I'm a part of this community. I want to see all of us succeed. And if we collaborate more, and again, you can do this indirectly by just sharing, or you can do this directly by simply calling up somebody and saying, hey, I would love to help out. How can we collaborate and share each other's expertise, share each other's communities? I'm doing this once again with our workshops. This is why I'm calling other people in to do our workshops. I want to collaborate with more people. Now, if you watch their thing and then you join their membership instead of my membership, that's great. It means I helped you find the right thing. Maybe my membership was not right for you, which is, again, nothing that I should be ashamed of. It just means it wasn't right for you. So I really want to encourage you to think more of collaboration, even with those you feel like you're competing with. All right. I hope that was a beneficial. That was our Vital Signs. Vital Signs is always about something that I hope touches the heart of being a creative. And I hope that blessed you. Now, this is going to be kind of like a tricky thing where I have to explain how we built this very event. Okay. This very same creative checkup, which I've been doing for a while now, but I've used several different tools over the years. I've switched tools around. So this is the tool that I'm using, or the tools, I should say, the workflow that we're currently using to do this very live stream that you're watching right now. So I'm going to kind of explain it, and then we'll try to do some share screen, see if we can share the screen, and I can kind of show you where we use this. And by the way, all the tools I'm using, I think except for Beautiful, you can find at guideandgigs.com/toolkit. If you ever want to try this out for yourself, you can go to guideandgigs.com/toolkit. I probably need to update the site. I think we have StreamYard there. Um, Beautiful, we may not have there yet. And let me see, what else do I need to include? Canva is there. We definitely use Canvas for some of this. Yeah, so I think that most of the tools are there, but I will help you to find them if you cannot find them at the toolkit. Okay. So to do this very live stream, first of all, I had to go live, right? So that's the first thing. How do you go live? Well, you do need to have a YouTube account. You do need to have a Facebook page account. So here's something that's a little different that most people don't realize, that if you're going live on Facebook, you can do it from your personal account, but it has its limitations, and here's why. It has its limitations because going live on Facebook from your friends usually only goes to your friends. However, a Facebook page live stream can be shared pretty much to anyone, and it's not limited by your friends. Now, you can also choose public, but once again, it just makes more sense to go live on Facebook from a Facebook page account. And that's what we do. If you're watching this right now, you're watching this on a God and Gigs Facebook page on Facebook. The YouTube account is the YouTube account for God and Gigs. I also, of course, have that my name attached to it sometimes just so people know it's me, but it's pretty much always the brand name. So that's the first thing before you go live, is make sure you know what account you're going live from. Now, you can do this directly through Facebook Live, even though you should know, as of like I think last week, Facebook is deleting Facebook Lives older than 30 days. So be aware of that. If you have like stuff that's been sitting there for a while and you kind of just wanted to store it there, Facebook's deleting that if it's older than 30 days old. So you might want to make sure you're downloading all of that stuff right now to make sure you have any kind of like live streams or content that you really, really like, and you don't want to lose them because they have like something you can repurpose. Download it so that you can keep it. Okay. Now, YouTube obviously keeps everything forever. Well, at least for now, you can still also back that up. And LinkedIn as well does live. And so I also go live on LinkedIn, as I mentioned earlier. So how do you go live to several different places at the same time? Obviously, I'm doing this what we call multi-stream way. Okay, that's my method, is multi-streaming. Well, we use StreamYard. So StreamYard is literally right now sending this link to 3 different places. I'm able to record, got the video, got the audio. And by the way, all these cool little things I'm doing, if you notice, where I can kind of go back and in, all the kind of stuff, this all is something in StreamYard. By the way, I almost forgot. We have, let me see if I made a new stinger, and I didn't use my stinger. So I'm going to try to start this segment again just to see if it works, because I'm trying to be like my cool friend Lashonda. So we're making our own stingers now. So let's see if this works. I'm going to do this. I'm going to see if we can do a transition using this live stream. And again, this is a feature in StreamYard. So let's check this out. Let's see if this works. What do you think? Was that cool? Was that cool that we got to have a little like production value there? This is what StreamYard allows you to do. StreamYard, again, is one of these tools that I had another tool that I was using. It was called Restream. Again, kind of tell you about the competition. Restream is great. Really nothing wrong with Restream. After a while, I just had a little bit of some technical issues, and I like, let me try out StreamYard. And I would say, like, overall, after using both of these for a long time, StreamYard is kind of like just an easier flow. Restream, sometimes I had trouble finding things. And so I decided to stick with StreamYard. Restream, again, is really good for either one of them. Will go to multiple locations, and I just simply select, and you connect your account to the YouTube, you're connected to the Facebook, and you're connected to the LinkedIn, and it goes to Instagram as well, by the way. It's a workaround, You can go to Instagram Live as well, but I got rid of that because I just feel like it's more effective to go live to these places. Ah, Anita says that was sweet. Thank you. I was really proud of that. Honestly, I was like, oh, it's so cool. Got the little ding, 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 the little graphic thing. I'm not a video editor. Everything you're seeing is literally me just trying to make it up as I go along. So I am glad you enjoyed that. She says that was sweet. That's really awesome. And again, StreamYard lets you pop up these accounts the way I'm doing right now. Okay, you see that? So this is how StreamYard works. It allows me to go to multiple locations. It allows me to do the banners, all this stuff, and create this studio. Everything you see right here is the studio that you see right now. Now, let me go into something else that you might wonder, okay, well, how do I do this inset here? Okay, you guys see that? So how do we build those insets? Well, Canva is a great presentation maker, but I actually don't use Canva. I actually use something called Beautiful AI for my slides. And the reason I love Beautiful AI is, I guess it's just the overall cohesiveness of the branding for me on Beautiful AI. And as you can see, it has that little thing at the bottom so you can see where that is. Okay. So Beautiful AI is right there. And I really just felt this was the best use of my presentation skills, which are not very high. But because Beautiful AI shows you all these beautiful templates and you can immediately pop them in. And you know what? Let's see if we can do a share screen because Beautiful AI, we are not an affiliate. Just so you know, this has nothing to do with me trying to make money off of this specific tool. I just want you guys to know about it because if you're doing presentations and you're like, wait, I want something that looks a little different from PowerPoint. I'm not a fan of, maybe, Canva's a little bit too many things to use. And you feel like it's not as easy for you. Again, this is a collaboration and competition because technically both of these tools can work for the same thing. But I want to show you a little bit of, let's see if we can get the share screen. Here's Beautiful AI. All right, and so here's all of my presentation. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. And I've been sharing these presentations for years. So I've got Call of the Creative down here, our PodFest 2025, whenever I presented at PodFest. All of my presentations were built there. So you can see it's a menu. And again, if I just show you kind of like, let's go to one of my previous live streams. Actually, no, let's just go to one of our presentations here. Let's go back to, let's go to the PodFest presentation so you can kind of see what I built there. And so you can see the layout here is super clean. It allows me to immediately find a presentation. If I want to add a slide, it's super easy, simply to tap add a slide. And it gives me all of these amazing options. And again, this is just, how I see this very clean interface where if I want to try to build a funnel, I want to do a pyramid, let's build a target. There's just thousands and thousands of really, really cool templates that can make your presentations pop. And again, maybe you're saying, well, I don't have to do presentations that often. Well, if you're trying to be getting a grant, if you're going to be teaching, if you're going to be creating a live stream of teaching something, these are all a highly effective way to getting your point across. So again, you can see I'm just playing around here, but I'll just grab one so you can see how it works. Let's grab something for bullet points, and there's some options for types of bullet points. Maybe I want to add this one because I like the little picture there. And we have immediately this color. Now, what I like about, again, that you can immediately go into the branding. These are the theme colors, right? And then the theme colors, I can then change it immediately to look a little different and have the same kind of branding throughout. Okay, so you can see all these different slides I've made throughout the time. These are all made inside Beautiful. I didn't have to import anything. The custom, the stock photos, all of that was all made easily through using this app. They're already there. And if I ever need stuff like real quick, I can always go. But there's a integration with all the different unsplashes and pixabays. So if I want to change the picture, you can go in stock images and it has all these connected. So you can immediately grab another picture and fill it in with something else. So just to show you how I built these slides, it's really, really, really a blessing to have tools like this. So if you are trying to build new tools, I would build new slides or something a little different than what you've used before. I highly recommend Beautiful AI, just to have a new kind of thing. Here we are. Okay, so that's how we do the slide presentation. Now I then download that slide presentation that I build, upload it, and then we put into StreamYard, where it shows up like this. And StreamYard is really cool because it allows me to fast forward, go through all these slides really simply just by hitting the space bar or hitting the arrow bar. So that's how we keep our presentation moving. And that's kind of like how we do it. So there, now you know how we build this live stream event. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. Then we use Kit, and then we send out the email notifications. The notifications come through each one of these individual places through StreamYard. They give you a link, and then you can obviously share it through social media and so on. But then we use Kit to then send out the email, which most of you responded to, and you can click on it, and I can then let you guys see that. So Kit is where we send out our email notifications. You can always check that out. Once again, all of this is available at godandgigs.com/toolkit. Okay, so if you go to godandgigs.com/toolkit, this is where you can find all the tools we use to use all these different things to advance our message, our mission, and to help more creatives. Okay, all right, let's see if we can do the stinger again. We're going to try the stinger again, and we're going to go on to our consult. We're going to get really, 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 really fancy again with our stingers. And so after I play this, we're going to go into our consult. Wait, let's get rid of that banner first. There we go. Hey, I'm getting better at this, aren't I? Huh? What do you think? Do you think we're getting more and more kind of savvy with the way we use StreamYard? I feel like this is getting a little bit more fun, right? So the consult, how to discern God's timing. Now, to be very honest with you, I'm still working on this. I want to hear from you in this particular consult. What do you do when you're facing a big decision and you're praying about it and you're like, is it time to launch the book? Is it time to start the membership? Is it time to join the church or to, let's be honest, join a new church, right? Start a new ministry. I mean, these are all huge decisions, and they're all based on, is this the right time? And I'm writing about this in a new devotional that will be coming out very soon on YouVersion. We're on the editing process right now. But even as I'm editing and talking about it and writing it, I would love to get your opinion, because your opinion is the one that matters when it comes to who's reading this and whether it resonates with you. So have you ever struggled, is the question, with discerning God's timing? And if you have or haven't, how have you figured out or kind of discerned, hey, I believe it's the right time to do X. It's the right time to do Y. And there's so many big decisions we make, from getting married to what college to go to, like all these big decisions, right? But they all seem to come back to, is this the right time for me to make this certain move? And honestly, one of the things I can think of is this the right time to start Guiding Gigs? Because I came out of 2015, having left my previous job in my old church. I want to say, actually, this is 2009, 2010, because we've been out for a little while. So I wrote Guiding Gigs in 2015. I think we joined our new church, Metro Life, at about 2011. I always get these words. Yeah, I always get these times mixed up, because it's really hard to, like, once you get to a certain age, you can't remember when things happen. But I remember struggling with this a lot because it didn't feel like the right time, number one, to leave my previous church. That felt like it was just absolutely impossible to figure out. And God really had to give me a date. He had to say, this is the date you're leaving, June 30th. This is when you're resigning. And I didn't want to believe it, but that was God's time. He was clear about that with me. And 3 days later, I got the audition to my now current church, where my family has been blessed for the last 15 years. So I had to operate under God's timing, but it was not easy. Anita says, oh my gosh, it's paralyzing sometimes, isn't it? This is where, like I said, I just want to be honest. Like, there's no one answer to any of these things. Okay. What I'm going to try to share in my devotional coming up, the Creator's Timing, is we're going to try to share just some common principles that seem to be interlaced throughout the Bible. One is that obviously you can kind of tell this: God likes showing up when things look worse, when Peter and James are, sorry, where Paul and Silas are already in jail, or Peter's already in jail, right? He seems to show up when things already look bad, when the time seems to have passed. Another thing about creatives that we notice is that God seems to have a certain time span to work in. He says in the Bible, where Jesus says, I must work while it is day. Night is coming when no man can work. Ecclesiastes, there's a time for every purpose under heaven. So God, even though he operates outside of time, he seems to give us like, hey, this is the season that this has to happen. There isn't like an extension of the time on those particular issues. You got to do it within this period of time, or else you're going to miss out. So there are times that we don't have that like luxury of saying, oh, well, whenever, it'll come back around again. Clearly, God doesn't always operate like that. So my goal is to just give you guys something to think about in this new devotional. Once again, if you want to go check out godandgigs.com/creatorscraft, but we do have a page on YouVersion now. And let me see if I can find that. I'm literally going to look right now, because it would help if you guys know where to find us. Let's go Bible.com. And let me see if we have a page. If you go to Bible.com and type in God and Gigs, I believe we now have a page. Let me do the search. Give me 1 second. Plans. We do have plans. So, oh, interesting. Even when I do plans, the devotional doesn't pop up right away. Interesting, but probably because I put God and Gigs. I don't know why Gigs would be anywhere else. And I always hate it when I do this live, but you know what? Maybe it's best that I do it so you guys see that I'm working this out even as we go. Interesting. It did not pop up at all. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Well, I know we have a page somewhere. I'm not sure how to find it, but I'm going to find it eventually and show you how you can get to that in case we add more devotionals later on. Let's see here. I'm going to try one more thing. I think I can do it. Thank you guys for doing this. Is awful for any kind of editing, or awful for any kind of watching, just looking me up. Yep, I'm having trouble finding it. So, nope. Yep, couldn't find it. So I think we have a page. I just can't find it right now. So that was frustrating. But anyway, we'll find that later on, and I'll make sure to send it. Make sure you're a part of our email addresses so I can send you the page that we're actually on when you look for the next devotional that's coming up. Okay. Because right now, I don't know. I thought we had one. It just doesn't seem to pop up. And so we'll just have to find it later on. Okay. So if we have a place for that, I'll let you know. All right. We're 5 minutes away. So I want to go ahead and get to the end. And that is our prescriptions. Now for Anita and others that are in our Creators Resource Center, you don't have to do this because you're already a member. Okay. Oh, thank you for this. Wait, Anita, let me go back one thing, because she just popped in. I found the devotional by typing in Creative Devotions when I first reached out to you. Okay, you know what? We're going to try that right now, because that's actually interesting that I didn't see God and Gigs pop up, but I have a portal. And for some reason, like I said, it's not letting me see all of my stuff, and it's stopping me from getting in. So I'm going to try to get in one more time to my own portal. Oh, finally I got into the portal. Okay. Whew. All right. Share my page. Copy. Well, thank you, Anita, for making me check one more time, because I think we found it. There it is. All right. I'm going to have to create a link for this. Okay. I'm going to show you what it looks like, though. Wow. Thank God I found it. All right. So let's do share screen. Got it. So this is how it looks on a desktop. Okay. So follow God and Gigs in the Bible app. You can scan that there. Okay. And you can follow God and Gigs in the Bible app. Now, I'm going to, again, probably go into our pretty links inside WordPress, and I'll create a godandgigs.com/uversion link so that you can find that anytime. Okay. And then you can download it on the App Store, download it in Google Play. You can scan right here. If you have it right now, you can just scan this code. If you have your phone, you simply scan this and it will download the Bible app. And then you can always find it again. We'll try to find another way to find that page, because that would be awesome. Because then you see plans by God and Gigs. That way, when we have new plans pop up, they will pop up there. So that's my goal. So you can have one place to see all the plans we're sharing. And then when creator's timing comes out, when the creator's purpose comes out, when the creator's authority comes out, those will all be there for you. Okay. So I'm going to work on that. But thank you so much, Anita, because that really helps. Like I didn't, want to try it again, but I tried it again and we were able to find it. And again, I'm also going to try it on my phone to make sure you can find it on the phone. And that way I'll know for sure how to get that. But this has been a great creative checkup, you guys. If you're watching on replay, please go ahead and share that you're watching on replay. Just type in replay in the comments on Facebook, on YouTube, even on LinkedIn. You guys on LinkedIn, again, I don't get to really see you much because I'm really not sure if you get to see the interaction that we get to see, because I can't pull up your stuff like I can for YouTube, like I'm pulling up Anita's comments. But if you guys are watching, please let me know, because I can respond on LinkedIn. I can then invite you to other things on LinkedIn, including our workshops. We can get connected there. Same thing, Facebook. We are trying to make sure that everybody on Facebook is at least invited to get out of Facebook and join us in the membership, because it's so much better there. Anita, Aisha, Charmaine, Semini, they can all attest. Like, the membership is just so much more interactive because you don't have to worry about anything else. All you see there is just our interactions. And when you post, everybody gets to see it. There's none of that issues of, oh my gosh, only 10 people saw this post. Like, that doesn't happen because all of our posts are not gatekept by the algorithm. So I would definitely recommend you guys join us now. You can always join godandgigs.com/membership to get into either the gold program, which is our live coaching, or the Creative Resources Center, which is all the recorded workshops. That's where you get all the recorded workshops plus the forums. So there's always live stuff happening in the threads and stuff like that. So you're able to join us there. Okay. All right, my friends, this has been amazing. I got to get ready and run to a rehearsal. So I got to go get changed, get my gear together, and continue this creative music, crazy lifestyle that we have. But this has been a blessing. If this helped you, once again, please please share it with someone, please subscribe. That will help us help more creatives who are just like you. That's our goal with all that we do here in God and Gigs. So I thank you, Anita, for dropping in. We also had some other people who didn't comment, but I saw you were watching the entire time. Okay, so thank you for hanging out with us, even if you didn't comment. We got to see that there are more people watching throughout, which is super cool because, again, the longer you watch, the more the algorithm likes you, the more they like us, the more that they will share this content with other people. Well, until next time, my friends, God bless you and continue to become the creative that you were created to be. For all of our members in God and Gigs 360, we'll see you in the app. And for everyone, hopefully you'll be checking out our podcast at godandgigs.com/podcast. New episode coming out on Monday. Thank you, Anita. Once again, please, for you specifically, check your chat. I left a message for you. I want to make sure you get that because I want to make sure that we make it right for you, since you had a little issue with getting into the workshop. I want to make sure we do that for you. Okay, my friend, thank you for watching. Everybody else, God bless you and continue to become the creative that you were created to be. Take care.